Alright, so you want to learn to create good habits and break bad habits. Well, in this video, I'll teach you some tips to do just that. But first, let's understand what a habit is. The definition of a habit is simply a tendency or practice that's usually hard to give up. So this could be smoking, which is a bad habit. It could be brushing your teeth every morning, which is a good habit because everyone wants fresh white teeth. And we know that these are habits because they're hard to give up and they're a practice or a tendency that you do every day or regularly. And to identify which habits are good and which habits are bad, you can simply just think to yourself, are these habits breaking me down? Do I want to be doing these? Or do I want to stop doing them? And do I regret doing it? Like smoking. You know that smoking is bad for your health, so every time you do it, you might feel regret, but you know that it's hard to stop. While brushing your teeth, it's a good habit, and you know that you want to keep your teeth clean and you want to keep them white. So it's easier to identify them when you know what's building you up and what's breaking you down as your identity, and figuring out which habits you want to keep and which habits you want to get rid of, or which habits you want to create and which habits you want to break. Alright, to better understand a habit, let's talk about the 3 R's: reminder, routine, and reward. So the reminder is the trigger, the thing that triggers the habit. This could be a feeling or a practice. So if I'm feeling nervous, this might lead to biting my nails, like that. Or it could lead to, if I brush my teeth every day and I always floss before it, flossing would trigger brushing my teeth. Now, the routine is the thing that makes the trigger stick. It's doing it over and over again and being consistent with it, which builds it and creates that routine. So continuing that behavior builds the routine. And then the reward is the release of dopamine, or the feeling of pleasure, or the relief of stress. So smoking might relieve stress, or brushing my teeth might make me feel like I'm looking good today and my teeth are clean and my breath smells great. So now that you know the 3 R's, reminder, routine, and reward, you can apply those to deciding whether a habit is a habit or not. And now we'll talk about how to create good habits and how to break bad habits. All these tips that I'm going to give you, you can apply to both good and bad habits, and whether you want to break them or create them. My first tip is to find the good habit that you want to pursue, or identify the trigger behind the bad habit that you're trying to break. So for a good habit that I might want to pursue is learning piano. And then a bad habit that I want to break might be picking at my face. And the trigger is every time I look at the mirror, I look for zits. And once you've found the habit that you either want to break or pursue, then you want to figure out how you're going to make that happen. So you want to be as specific as possible. For the piano example, I like to play every single day for 30 minutes, and I want to put away all my distractions and really focus. Or if I want to stop picking at my face, then I'll avoid every single mirror at all costs. So if I even see a mirror, I need to get away from it as fast as possible, so I don't have the urge to pick at my face. Now find the why. Why do you want to do this? Why do I want to stop picking at my face? Because I don't want my face to look bad. Or why do I want to start playing piano? Because I like the sound of piano and I think it'd be cool to start playing. Find why you want to do it. If you have somebody who's urging you to do something and you're not interested, but you want to pursue that habit, but you don't find interest in it, then don't pursue it. Because if it's not in your heart and it's not what you want to do, then you're not going to have the motivation to change. You're not going to have the motivation to achieve or break that habit. The next thing I'm going to recommend is to hold yourself accountable. And this is the best way to motivate you. So don't go it alone. Tell the public. Post on social media, I'm going to stop smoking. Get a family member involved, or a partner, somebody who's in the same spot as you, so you guys can edge each other on and push each other to work harder than the other. Make it a competition. How many days have I not smoked? How many days have I not picked at my face? All of these bad habits that I want to break, or all these good habits that I want to start. How many days have I played the piano? How many times have I gone on to Duolingo to learn a language? How consistent am I? A good way that I've held myself accountable for picking at my face is by giving my dad $10. I gave him $10 and I said that you can give me these $10 back when my face is totally clean of any red spots or any spots that I picked at. And once he feels like I've reached that goal, then I can get the money back. So it gives me the motivation because then I'll get the money back. This is a good way to hold yourself accountable, and putting something aside where you have a motivation to go pursue that goal will motivate you even more to break the habit or achieve the habit that you are looking for. Another thing you can do with bad habits is replace them with good habits. So I'll give you an example. My dad used to smoke, and to stop that, to prevent himself from continuing that bad habit, he started chewing nicotine gum, which replaced his smoking addiction and saved his health. And he replaced the bad habit that he wanted to stop with a good habit that wouldn't hurt his health and would prevent him from having bad lungs in the future. Another thing you could do is replace eating a ton with working out a ton. So you're taking away gaining weight and instead losing weight or becoming stronger. Whatever you want to pursue, replace that with a bad habit that you have. And this is a good way to stop your bad habits. And when you're working on these habits, what you want to do is you want to leave reminders for yourself. So when I'm feel the urge to pick at my face and I'm looking in a mirror, I can put a sticky note on the mirror and it says, stop picking at your face. This will remind me not to pick at my face. It will remind me the $10 that my dad will give me when I'm done. It'll remind me what I'm trying to achieve. So leaving those little reminders will really help you to remind yourself of what you're trying to achieve. And also, know that you'll slip up. You'll make mistakes. It's going to happen. We all do it. You're not going to be perfect when you're trying to pursue this goal or break a habit. You're going to make mistakes and you're not perfect. So know that it's okay. Don't let it bring you down. Don't let it demotivate you from continuing, because you've made progress and you'll continue to make progress if you continue. So don't let mistakes bring you down. Let them encourage you. Oh, I missed a day on piano. I'm going to make sure that for the next week, I'm going to be super consistent. Push yourself, and this will help you. The next thing I recommend is to reward yourself. Reward yourself when you do a good job. If I play piano every single day for a week, then maybe I can take a day off, or maybe I can reward myself with ice cream. Whatever it is, just reward yourself. Know that you're doing a good job when you do a good job. And when you're not, try and push yourself for that reward and think about the reward in the end. If I'm able to stop picking at my face will look really good. But if I don't, then my face will look really bad and it'll continue to get worse and worse if I don't break the habit. And last but not least, my final tip is to stick with it, even when it's hard. Even when you don't feel motivated to continue working towards it. Remind yourself of what breaking that habit or creating that habit will do. Remind yourself of the why. Once you're able to do that, it'll continue to push you and motivate you to push towards that goal. Because once you stick with it, once you reach that goal, once you reach creating that habit or breaking that habit, then you'll be so happy that you did. All right, looking at my notes here, let's conclude on what we've learned. We've learned what habits are. We've learned what habits are good, which ones are bad. We've learned the reminder, routine, and reward. 3 R's to what a habit is and identifying one. We've learned that to choose good habits that you want to pursue, you need to find what motivates you. Find the why and find the trigger behind what habits are hard to break, which ones are bad and which ones are good. Find the trigger behind it and then figure out how you're going to prevent yourself from triggering that bad habit or pursuing that good habit. Figure out how you're going to do that, how you're going to motivate yourself. And then obviously finding the why. Why do I want to do this? Why does this motivate myself? And then figure out how you're going to hold yourself accountable. Have a friend or family member cheer you on along the way somehow. And then try to replace the bad habits with the good ones. I gave you an example. My dad had a smoking problem and he replaced that with chewing nicotine gum because he was able to shift it from being a bad habit to saving his health and creating it as a good habit. Next thing is leave reminders for yourself. Figure out how you're going to remind yourself to continue doing this habit, pursuing this habit, or breaking this bad habit. Remind yourself so you can motivate yourself. And then remember that you'll make mistakes. You'll slip up. That's okay, but don't be unmotivated. Don't demotivate yourself. And also motivate yourself with rewards. If a reward is what's gonna motivate you, then you need to reward yourself once you did a good job, and make sure that you know when you've done a bad job because you've not gotten a reward. And then lastly, stick with it. If you stick with it, you'll achieve your habits. You'll achieve breaking your bad habits. And this will help you to create good habits and break bad habits. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like, please subscribe. I'm trying to post every single week, so leave feedback. I know this isn't perfect. I know I need to work on talking to a camera because this is all new to me and I really want to provide the best content. So leave feedback, let me know what you think, and please like and subscribe if you feel like that's what I deserve. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one.